I've always had a dream since I was a little girl. I've been dancing since I've been 2.5. And I want to be a triple threat, so I take singing lessons. I went to school for acting. I've danced my whole life basically and sang and act as well.
Yeah, when I first moved here, it was real weird because I walked down the street in Brooklyn and I say hey to like thug dudes, and then they would just look at me like, yo, like who is you talking to right now? You know, Brooklyn dudes like, yo son, like word to my mother, my dude, like who is you talking to?
Been doing stand-up for about 4 years now. I grew up in the 90s, so like comedians were like writers of their own material back then. That's a path that I want to take on.
The whole world's thinking too much, and those girls thinking too much, and fellas thinking too much. Probably it's the reason, cause we all lost touch, I'm saying.
We just solidified an after-school program called BEAT. Bridging education and art together, and basically where we're going to be teaching hip-hop and teaching breakdancing, teaching beatboxing to the youth.
Thank you for showing me how to love. Thank you for helping me get to the next moment of life and for unsticking me from all the fucking shit I thought I'd be stuck to. I graduated with my Master's of Fine Arts, which was a big deal for me, because I've always wanted to go get it so I could be a professor.
Romans, countrymen and lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent, that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. I've been acting for 8 years now. I like to do monologues either in my head or just kind of when I'm alone, probably more regularly than is healthy.
What is this, a penguin? What are you? I'm a
penguin. It's kind of warm here. Can you give me a jacket?
Hello, my name's Christopher. It's nice to meet you all. I'm glad you all showed up. So what I'm trying to do is put together a reality teaser that's about artists, but the unique angle is that it's going to be more based in reality than a lot of the stuff you see on TV.
I actually was on Star Search myself when I was a little girl. I've also been on the set of Dance Moms and performed, and I don't find it realistic.
It takes some type of element of reality, but it heightens it and fabricates it into this like glamorous, beautiful thing, when really reality is a pain in the ass and it's tough and it's a bitch and you just figure it out.
This is maybe a little cheap, but it would be nice to be able to pay my rent through my art, to be able to not have to have a side job and devote all of my time and effort to being an actor.
You need a healing? Who need a healing? I need a healing.
I have a big support team at home in Michigan. My mom actually owns a dance studio, so everyone's kind of understood that I'm very serious about this.
My mom didn't necessarily believe in the direction I was going.
And we be thinking too much. Probably it's the reason, cause we all lost touch. I'm saying psycho, analyze, daydream, fantasize, scarecrow, pantomimes, neuro, sanitize.
I was living in the projects with my friends, and it was a lot of negativity, a lot of drugs, a lot of content in my surroundings that had to do with disrespectfulness of women, and I had to sort of make a separation between my home life and my career.
You rather Caesar were living and die all slaves than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? So I enjoy working in the rehearsal room. I like having a safe space to just purely create and tell a story, because once the audience is there, then there is this aspect of this needs to be good for an audience, and they paid money to come see you, so you can't suck.
People think that you just show up and you're funny and you just talk for an hour. They don't know that you gotta do like, we hit probably like 15 shows a week. You probably gotta write for a couple hours a day. You gotta study, you gotta read the news. You gotta analyze things within yourself. So it's a lot of work to create that setup and punchline, and people think you just walk on stage and be funny.
Yo, I had to learn a lot about like New York, man. That's why I miss home, cause like when I first came, I used to fall asleep on the trains, and like one night I fell asleep and I think I might have got raped a little bit, cause I woke up and there was a dude with his hand inside my pocket, and I was like, yo, bruh, can you like take your hand out my pocket? And he just looked at me. Yo, my man, go back to sleep.
In regards to people that aren't artists, I call them civilians, which is not necessarily the nicest thing, but it's just my opinion. And no, they don't understand. They don't get it, and I can't get upset with that because it is a form of ignorance, but not in a negative way. They just don't know that this is a job where that you can get these degrees as an artist.
I want your money. I want your money.
I have no
I want your money.
I have no money.
Can I please, please?
We are not recording.
Sorry, you're welcome. Can I have the money, please?
If you cut me,
You gonna get our money. You ain't gonna get our money. You can't get our cents. You can't get our pennies.
One of the lowest points for me that I can remember right now is when I was in college. It was a silly joke. I tried to, it was this blind guy at our school. And I was like, hey, you ever see this guy? And I did the stick. And I tried to skip him in the food line. Then he hit me with the stick and was like, I see you. That was all the joke was, but the school wasn't having it. And everybody just started, they booed me. I would see people around town, they'd be like, hey, ain't you the dude that tried to talk about the blind dude? And they just shake their head at me. And it'd be embarrassing. So yeah, that hurt internally for a while, so it took me a while to recover from that.
It can be a very negative atmosphere sometimes when you're like shoved and been like, they're like, no, we don't want you today. But then there's days where you have great days and you get callbacks and it's great. So I think I just have the ups and downs.
Vicissitudes of life, like the ups and downs I go through. My art is really like therapeutic for me. It's therapeutic for other people, and that keeps me creating.
Positive vibrations, heal the nation. 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 One more time.
Anyone who has things that they want to do that they're not currently doing, all kind of understand each other. But when I hang out with my friends who are just working, and maybe they graduated college and they got a job, but they don't necessarily have any professional goals, I'm not sure that they quite understand the grind of trying to make it.